This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Horrible things can happen in a millisecond, in a second, by a decision you're making.
A family's heartbreak now turning into determination as they push for a huge change behind the wheel.
Of course, we'll look for some sunshine in the forecast, and I'll show you a sustained and noticeable warm-up.
The concerns coming to light after a Subway employee was shot and killed while doing his job. Other workers in the area tell us this isn't the only problem. What they say needs to happen to keep everyone safe.
The Marion County prosecutor says people won't face charges in some marijuana cases. Why, the state may say, not so fast.
Students walking out of class a week after a Ball State professor called police to a classroom.
Good evening here at 6 o'clock. First up, RTV6 sits down with a woman fighting for change after distracted driving led to the loss of a family member.
Indiana is one step closer to having a more strict distracting driving laws on the books. The House discussed the bill this afternoon, and the House members could vote on it tomorrow morning.
RTV6's Megan Sanctorum is working for you to find out what this bill means for you as one widow shares her message.
Kayaking on the Ohio River when they were pretty small, that picture, that's my favorite picture of them.
Photos and memories of Brian Sire are all his wife and kids have left to hold on to.
He stepped into a crosswalk. He had the light for him, for the pedestrian to cross, and the right-of-way, and an 18-year-old driver hit him.
His children just 10 and 6 years old at the time.
He sustained a head injury. He died 2.5 weeks later.
She says an investigation showed the driver was distracted and using his phone moments before the crash.
He had texted 40 plus times that morning, and he also had called someone within a minute of hitting my husband.
That was about 8 years ago. And since then, she says she's seen more and more people using their phones behind the wheel.
It makes me really mad. I'm fearful. I know this can happen to you. I know what the effects of it can be.
So she started reaching out to lawmakers and pushing for change. It's taken a couple of years, but she's optimistic this current bill will move forward. The proposed legislation would make it illegal to hold and use a cell phone while in the driver's seat of a moving car. Any cell phone or GPS activity would have to be done hands-free or with voice technology. If passed, she knows changes won't happen overnight, but she says it would be a big step toward a cultural shift in driving habits.
I hope that over time that it just becomes the norm for drivers and that we get our attention back on the road instead of on our phones.
She's hoping that by sharing her story, she can help stop another family from losing a loved one.
That's what that boy did, his decision that day, this is what he stole.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And currently there are 21 states with similar hands-free cell phone laws. We'll have more information about Indiana's proposed law on our website.
Developing tonight, the search is on for a car involved in a police chase this afternoon. Metro Police say someone in that car fired shots at officers. That chase spanned the city's northwest and northeast sides. One of those shots were fired. Police say they stopped the chase near 32nd and MLK. IMPD says officers tried to pull over what they believe to be a silver Ford Fusion because the plates did not match the vehicle they were on. That's when the suspect drove off and fired shots. Police are looking for a silver Ford Fusion with tinted windows and an Indiana In God We Trust license plate. That plate number is ATJ731. You can call police with any information on this. By the way, no officers were hurt in today's incident.
Maybe on your drive home this evening, you encountered a few flurries, some areas of drizzle. I think those will continue here the next several hours. We're in the 30s the next 2 days. Temperatures do climb as we head toward the weekend. It will be a noticeable warm-up. Radar lights up with some light blue. That shows the flurries mixing with some drizzle at times. And I do think this will continue here through the night into tomorrow. The moisture is just trapped here in the lowest levels of the atmosphere with lots this, low clouds. That's Meridian Street as we look north out of downtown. 32 in Indy, Logansport's at 32. Zionsville right now 30 degrees. As we go between now and 10, there's your intermittent kind of pop-up areas of flurries and drizzle. 1 o'clock in the morning. Then we wake up tomorrow morning with a few flurries around as well. Not expecting much in the way of an impact on the roads. Temperature trend is up. Slow warm up though until early next week. We'll talk about this, the ballooning warmth, how long that may last, coming up.
And tonight we are learning more about a Subway employee shot and killed while doing his job last night. RTV6's Stephanie Wade is speaking with witnesses who say this is not the first armed robbery to happen in the area. What they're now calling for in order to keep their community safe.
I've been speaking with other businesses in this shopping center. The manager at this pizza restaurant tells me he was actually here last night and saw the 3 suspects from out the window walking on this sidewalk here. He says he then heard screaming as they headed into this Subway restaurant.
My body started to shake, and it reminded me of that.
Hans Pizarro says this isn't the first time a store has been robbed in the Shadeland Station Shopping Center off of 75th Street. He was robbed at gunpoint twice about a year ago, working at this pizza joint just next door.
I scared for my life because I got only supporting my family. Yeah, so I take care of my family, so I got my daughters.
Pizarro wasn't hurt in either armed robbery, but his friend, a Subway employee, wasn't so lucky Monday evening.
He's a really good guy. Very nice, always happy, smile. Yeah, that's very sad for him, for his family.
Police are still searching for 3 suspects you can see here wearing all black clothing. 2 have black face masks on. The 3rd was wearing a leopard print face mask. The suspects also carrying black backpacks. Pizarro's worried if police don't step up patrols or add more security, it will affect business in the area.
Right now it's terrible. No, the business getting down, getting very down. I'm worried about that because it's terrible.
Working for you on the northeast side, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And tonight, the Marion County Coroner's Office identified the Subway employee who was killed as 35-year-old Ashok Kumar. Anyone with information about the shooting or the suspects is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Covering education, new details are now emerging. IPS says if its recommendation to outsource its school bus service is approved tonight, employees will start meeting with the new company on Friday for recruiting. The plan to hire the company, First Student, to transport 25,000 kids could save the district $7 million. The announcement to make the switch was made public last week. First Student would run more than 300 routes for IPS.
We are confident that First Student brings both the culture, the equipment, the technology, and the opportunity to serve all IPS families.
Here's a closer look at the deal that's before the school board. The contract with First Student is valued at $33 million. It would be a 3-year contract with the option for another 3 years. The contract could be dropped if the company fails on the upkeep of the buses or if an unsafe record emerges with the fleet. We will have an update on the board's vote on the bus recommendation tonight on RTV6 News at 11.
And covering the State House, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears does not want to charge people for marijuana possession of less than 1 ounce. But if a Senate bill passes this year, he may not have a choice. The bill would allow the Indiana Attorney General to appoint a special prosecutor if some decide not to prosecute crimes as a matter of policy. Those in favor say it keeps the prosecutors from going rogue, while those against say it takes away the discretion to make the best decisions for their community.
I find this bill to be absolutely, amazingly wrong. First of all, I think that it's a very good chance that it's unconstitutional.
But we're going to leave it up to the prosecutors. There's no reason to have a General Assembly because it all means nothing. It would be basically up to one person to decide what the laws in the state of Indiana are.
The bill passed a committee today 6-3 and now heads to the full Senate. And new developments, a notice of appeal has been filed by a Fulton County woman convicted and sentenced for hitting 4 children, killing 3 while they were getting on a school bus in October of 2018. Alyssa Shepard filed the notice of appeal on January 17th in a court of appeals. Her attorney says, quote, "We are appealing because although the accident is a heart-wrenching tragedy, we believe it is still just an accident and not a crime," end quote. In October, Shepard was convicted of 3 counts of reckless homicide, passing a school bus causing injury, and criminal recklessness resulting in serious injury. She was sentenced to 4 years in prison, 3 years of home detention, 3 years of probation, and a 10-year driver's license suspension. And right now, Lebanon police are asking for your help to find this man, but they warn you not to approach him. He is wanted in connection with a shooting Monday evening. Investigators say 53-year-old Mark Wayne Wilburn is considered to be armed and dangerous. Lebanon police say they believe Wilburn shot a 29-year-old man in the chest in the 800 block of Cohen Street around 7 Monday night after an argument. Medics rushed the victim to a hospital in serious condition. And Lebanon police say Wilburn is believed to be driving a red 2013 Chevy Silverado with Indiana truck plate number TK580NOU. If you have any information about him, call 911. Again, police say do not approach Mark Wayne Wilburn because he is considered to be armed and dangerous.
All right, you want to sit here or do you want to lay?
Why am I moving in the middle of class? He legit stopped the class to try to move me. I've been back here on this PowerPoint.
Are you being disruptive in the class?
No, I'm not doing nothing. The whole damn class is here. It's cool. It's cool. You know what? I'm gonna leave. He's been on our work the whole time.
Well, today, dozens of Ball State students walked out of their classes to stand in solidarity with a student involved in a confrontation with a professor last week. That professor called university police after Sultan Benson refused to request to change seats. Well, Benson eventually walked out of the class. Other students have said there have been a number of prior complaints about that professor. Ball State's president was among those attending the walkout. He has previously said the school's dean met with the professor and that he will be monitored moving forward. Some students say that's not enough, so they gathered in hopes of inspiring change.
So I felt like it was my duty to be here, even if it made me uncomfortable, because I didn't want to disrespect my teacher by leaving class, but I also didn't want to leave a student that something happened to, where someone overstepped their power, hanging in the wind.
Student groups are demanding that the tenured professor retire and go through sensitivity training. They also want more conflict training for all faculty members, and they're also calling for a new student-led committee to advocate for issues important to the student body.
A major downtown road has fully reopened after most lanes were closed for a week because of construction.
And that tops the RTV6 news feed. This afternoon, Citizens Energy announced it had reopened all lanes of Pennsylvania Street between New York and Washington Streets. Citizens had that portion of Pennsylvania mostly shut down because of sewer work, so you shouldn't have any restrictions on Pennsylvania Street downtown right now.
And the mayor of Frankfort, Indiana, has announced that he will resign. Chris McBarnes says his resignation will be effective February 28th. He has accepted a job as executive director of the Wildlife Fund in the state of Wyoming. McBarnes was elected mayor in 2011 while he was still a student at Butler University. He officially took office in 2012 at the age of 23. A Frankfort Republican Precinct Committee man will select McBarnes' replacement.
Police have released the name of the person shot and killed this past Saturday in Franklin. The victim is 18-year-old Donovan Burdine. That's according to the Franklin Police Chief, Kirby Cochran. The Johnson County coroner says Burdine died of multiple gunshot wounds. 20-year-old Emilio Garcia of Indianapolis faces preliminary charges of murder and robbery in this case. Police also arrested another man who is charged with assisting a criminal. There's no word yet on a possible motive for this shooting.
IMPD hopes you recognize this man. Take a good look. Investigators say he went into the One Stop Mini Mart in the 4600 block of East 10th Street on January 5th and attacked an employee with a baseball bat. Metro Police say the man tried to steal the entire cash register. When he could not do that, officers tell us he stole cash from the register along with cigarettes. If you think you recognize this man or have any information about the robbery, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
We are one, and with Victor Oladipo back, perhaps that is truly the case for the Pacers. His return set for tomorrow, but he'll play with a heavy heart as he considers the death of Kobe Bryant. That story coming up at our Sports Extra Spotlight.
And we've talked about the warm-up. We'll get into more details. The temperature range today, just 3 degrees from morning low to afternoon high. But look over the next 7 days, as cold as 28, as warm as temperatures in the 50s. More details in your weekend forecast, too.
On Rogue. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
3 Purdue alumni now have more money to help improve the skills of Air Force pilots and keep them safe in the cockpit.
The Purdue alums created a simulator called Plain English. It's an app-based aviation radio simulator to help new pilots acquire radio communication proficiency that they will need while flying. The Air Force just provided the former Purdue students with $1 million to help more members of the Air Force with their communication and training through the Plain English simulator. The Plain English team works out of the Purdue Research Park in West Lafayette.
Let's talk about early next week. Why am I jumping to that? Because we've just been stuck here with the clouds and temperatures in the 30s. So let's go to a change. Early next week, temperatures will surge into the 50s. The question is, will it last into Tuesday? At least right now, I think it will. Temperature should be middle to upper 50s. There is a cold front and a big shift that will take place in this window sometime Tuesday into Wednesday, it looks like. So the mild air by the middle of next week will be pushed to the south and east. We'll see an expanding area of colder temperatures. But as we go into the first weekend of February and first couple days of next week, above average temperatures around. Some drizzle this evening and flurries. Both will be with us through the night, and I think some flurries during the day tomorrow with lots of cloud cover. There's no change there. As you take a look at our radar, we'll zoom in toward the metro area. This light precipitation is not a great target, so there's probably more of this in outlying areas just the farther you are from the radar site, the less it shows up. Anywhere in the metro area, a few flurries and some drizzle. Temperatures from north to south and west to east, all within a few degrees of each other. We're down 1 degree in the last hour in Indy at 32, 33 in Terre Haute. Temperatures in Evansville and Fort Wayne are the same. Through the evening hours, clouds, some drizzle and flurries. Temperatures will not change much. That wind will be light out of the northeast. During the day tomorrow, the snow showers or flurries and drizzle we have tonight will linger into the day tomorrow. And with the cloud cover around our temperatures, not much different. 35 tomorrow. We hit 34 today. Then a little warmer, as you can see, on Thursday. Warmest day of the work week on Friday at 42. Lots of clouds tomorrow. Few flurries. Temperatures just where they should be this time of year, in the mid-30s. There's a chance we could see a few rays of sunshine on a Thursday. Temperature moves into the upper 30s. As temperatures, if we go into the weekend, they'll move just a little bit Saturday into the upper 40s. The chance for any rain-snow mix, only about 20% on Saturday. That weather system does not look to be a big deal. On Sunday, we start the climb, 46 for the high. And as I mentioned, Monday, definitely warm, 55. We'll try to squeeze out one more day of warmth on Tuesday before the colder air arrives. And of course, Phil will speak on Sunday. That is
6 more weeks or no? Yeah. Done.
Groundhog Day. Yep.
All right, Dave First is here with some news of someone coming back.
You may have heard about this. Thanks, guys. Good evening. The wait almost over now. Victor Oladipo with a full practice today ahead of his return tomorrow night against the Bulls. It was big, certainly, when former Pacer Paul George made his return to Indy a couple years ago. This, man, who knows? Ready for the return in the Sports Extra Spotlight. There were a few more cameras than we usually see at today's practice, all focused on the guy wearing number 4.
Something important must be coming or something. I haven't seen this many media probably since Paul came back for the first time. So it's just fun.
And it will be for a lot of people who waited over a year to see him back on the court.
Nervousness, anxiety, what are you feeling right now, 24 hours ahead of this?
I feel great. I don't expect to go out there and get 40, but my mentality is that I'm going to get 40, so that's not going to change.
But there's no question the excitement is tempered. It's been just 2 days since the passing of NBA legend Kobe Bryant. Growing up, Vic was one of his biggest fans.
I remember telling my mom, I'm jealous. She said, why are you jealous? Because I felt like I didn't get my special moment with Kobe. You know what I mean? I had a relationship with him. I talked to him a few times on the phone, texted him a few times, but I never got to even meet him in person.
In fact, Victor was hoping to have an opportunity to meet him last summer before his leg injury derailed that idea. In fact, he's gone now. Still surreal.
It's like a nightmare. Honestly, it's really like a nightmare. It still hasn't even really sunk in yet for me because I just don't want to believe it.
So as if Victor's return needed any more meaning, it certainly has it now. A year in the waiting is almost over. He'll play perhaps with more inspiration than ever.
We just got to all have the Mamba mentality, and whatever it is that we do, just have that mentality, because that's a real thing, man. Attack every day like that guy attacked it. And if you're not successful and you don't accomplish what you can accomplish, at least you know you put everything you had into it.
Vic reaffirmed to me after practice today, he only had 2 jerseys when he was growing up in middle school, a Tracy McGrady jersey and a Kobe jersey. Pacers host the Bulls again tomorrow night at 7. Finally tonight, first and foremost from City Market this morning, the annual unveiling of the Indy 500 ticket. Last year's champion Simon Pagenaud on hand. That's the ticket. Borrowing an old John Lovett's line. The countdown to the 500 continues.
It just, almost feels like a dream. It doesn't feel real. It's just, I've dreamt about this moment so much. And now it's all happening in front of my eyes. It still doesn't feel real because it seems so crazy.
And no, Norman the dog did not make it on the ticket. Sad emoji. Purdue and Butler both on the road tonight. Highlights at 11. Until then, the news at 6 continues after this.
For just $169 a month.
Hey, don't forget, we want you to send us your photo of the day. Email it to news@wrtv.com.
And if it's fit for your family photo album, send it to us. If we choose your picture, we will air it here on the News at 6.
Again, that email is news@wrtv.com.
Let's play Name That City.
Go ahead. Let's do it.
It's Indy.
In Indianapolis.
Oh, it's Indianapolis.
Yeah, we didn't want to get that wrong. Okay, there's some snow showers, flurries, some drizzle. It's all very light in central Indiana. This is the view from Dave's car in the morning. What he's like heading into work. Temperatures in
taking the kids to school. There I am.
All right.
Upper 20s to around 30 degrees.
With the top down.
Yeah, that's what happens when the kids are running late to school. It's like, Dad came out. Okay, I'm taking it.
You're doing it. It's all you.
All right, well, thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news.
We're back with you at 7 o'clock. World News is next here on RTV6.